Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it's time for the next episode of Lost. Lots of new stuff happening, guys. We finally got to see whether Locke survived, whether Echo survived, whether Desmond survived the events of the last episode of Season 2. It appears that they've all survived. We certainly know Locke and Echo are alive. Desmond, I'm not positive on yet. I don't trust what I'm seeing, but maybe we'll find out more in this episode. We left Sawyer and Kate and Jack imprisoned by the others last episode. We didn't see them at all. We haven't seen Sun and Jin and Saeed, who are presumably making their way across the island again, back to Survivorville. But Hurley's made it back safe to Survivorville, and Desmond, if he is alive, is somehow remembering things from his future. Or remembering things from Hurley's future, since he wasn't actively listening to Locke's speech about going to rescue Jack, Sawyer, Kate, and yet he remembered it earlier when he first bumped into Hurley. Yes, it is confusing, and I'm not sure what I'm saying makes sense, but that's where my head's at right now. I do wonder whether we have finished with Locke's flashback, because it doesn't feel like that story reached a conclusion. And I'm curious to see whether we jump right back into it with more Locke flashback, or whether we're sort of left with a pin in that story and Aaron Paul makes an appearance later in the season again. An interesting introduction to a new character in the backstory. Anyway, I just watched episode 3. I'm ready to watch episode 4. I'm not going to say too much right now, and I'll save most of my comments for the end of this episode because I'm sure a lot of new questions will be raised. But this one is episode 4 of season 3, and it's called Every Man for Himself.
Previously on Lost.
We are not the enemy, but if you shoot me, that's exactly what we'll become.
Boom. Yeah. Exactly what they'll become. I hope Desmond's actually alive, but I doubt this because no one's acknowledged him yet other than Hurley. Okay.
You've got a problem with your roof.
He's alive.
Maybe you should move down the beach just for tonight.
What are you up to, Desmond? Obviously, Desmond's got designs on Aaron, but to what end?
Just trying to help, huh?
Jack's getting TV now?
Am I gonna keep watching cartoons, or are you gonna tell me why I'm here?
Sorry?
Should I talk to Benjamin? Because I'm starting to think that you're just the person who brings me my food. He's in charge.
Well, it doesn't work that way over here, Jack. We make decisions together.
Really? When I was holding that broken plate at your neck, he seemed happy to just let you die. I mean, it felt like he made that decision on his own.
I don't answer to him.
Juliet, I need you. The sub is back. We have a situation.
The sub is back? Did I hear that right? No, that was for Jack's benefit. I don't trust anything Ben says anymore. I trust nothing about what he says. Whoa.
Time for work.
Sounding a little stuffy there, Chinatown.
That's a fun reference. Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, 1973. Best screenplay in cinematic history.
What? Where are they?
Is this a real emergency?
You're bad, Juliet.
Why would they demonstrate all this panic around the prisoners? Oh, of course, Colleen's shot, but...
What happened?
We happened.
We happen.
You smiling?
Damn right I'm smiling. 'Cause we just got our ticket out of here.
What's Sawyer thinking? Because if we take Colleen at her word, Sun shooting her has made them enemies.
You know that chick they brought in on a stretcher? That's Broken Nose Man's girl.
They call him Pickett.
Pickett, that's right.
Pickett is distracted at the moment.
Pickett and Colleen.
Warning.
Oh.
Next time someone comes to pull me out, zap. They fall back from the shock, I snag the keys.
Sounds like a bit of a dumb plan,
What, you
Sawyer.
think I'm crazy?
No, I'm actually impressed.
Hmm.
So what about Jack?
What about him?
Every man for himself.
We don't even know if he's here. Hell, we don't even know if he's alive. It's every man for himself, Freckles.
Oh. Haven't had a Sawyer flashback in a bit. When was he in prison? I mean, it doesn't surprise me he was in prison.
Just got here. Name's Munson. Rumor has it he ripped off the government for 10 mil. But they never found the money.
I'll be damned.
If your buddy the warden didn't keep breaking up the fights, Munson be a dead man.
That son of a bitch.
Oh, new antagonists.
You think the warden's breaking up those fights because you're cute, Costanza? He's making a play for that 10 mil. Well, howdy, warden.
Interesting prisoner number, 840. Not long enough. Pick that up.
How about you get that trash?
All right. Sawyer and the warden are working together for that 10 mil.
Good.
Sorry, not a sucker.
They turn it off when he gets close. Is it weird that I kind of like Ben as a rough and tumble badass?
Since the sky turned purple, we've been blind. Our comms are all down, and I can't get them back up again.
Their comms are down. I feel like the others are sharing too much information in the presence of our survivors. Maybe it's just exposition.
Write down on this, please.
But it doesn't feel right.
It's for the pain.
I can't trust it.
What are you doing?
The sternum. Like in the movie.
I know.
Like in the movie, like in Pulp Fiction. Why are they giving him an adrenaline shot through the heart?
Don't mind me, brother. I'm just gonna take one of your clubs.
Does this
mean you're off to save the day?
Is this Paulo?
Take the 5-iron. I never use it.
Square your shoulders a bit more.
You play golf.
I'm Scottish.
We invented it.
Cheers.
Okay, so maybe not adrenaline, but number 8, rabbit number 8. What?
Hey, come on. Hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop. Let's move it, What's your problem?
What on earth? What on earth is this about?
You know what a pacemaker is? The rabbit had a small pacemaker set to deliver its kickstart should it get too excited, or anxious, or frightened, or should it try to escape. Your active heart rate would be about 140, which is the point at which your pacemaker
will go off.
Will cause your heart to explode.
Chill out, Sawyer.
Which is how I know that you're going to start behaving now.
I put a bomb in his heart.
Do some deep breathing, some yoga.
If you want me dead, why don't you just shoot me and get it over with?
Because we're not killers, James. Kate.
You touch her, I swear.
You tell her what we did, what we put in you, that we're watching you. You tell her any of these things. We'll put one in her, too.
Sawyer, are you okay?
You're allowed to speak. That doesn't raise your heart rate. Why is his heart rate 120?
What did they do to you?
Nothing.
120 is 8 times 15, by the way. Don't get excited.
What's that?
It's just my watch. It's busted.
Just leave me alone,
Chill.
damn it.
A little blunt with that storytelling, but okay. Okay.
Hello, Sawyer.
Who's here for him?
It's James Ford. And I know you know that because you got it right when you pressed charges.
What did you want me to do? You conned me.
Something you want.
We know he's been in for at least 9 months, but obviously it's going to be longer than that.
This is your daughter. I just thought you could write her a letter. Her name's Clementine.
She ain't mine.
Sawyer,
I ain't got no daughter.
She still loves him. She still loves him.
I've been checking out my cage. If I climb to the top, I can squeeze through those bars.
Don't bother. Think we should just chill out here a while, get the lay of the land.
Who is... Why...
What did you
That,
do, Sawyer?
that thing's not supposed to work.
I need your help.
Is she a doctor? But she needs more doctor help. There's Jack.
It's Jack!
Yeah. They don't want Jack to know, but they've got no problem with Kate and Sawyer knowing Jack's there. Jack's definitely their priority.
You bring him here?
He's a doctor. He can help.
What happened?
Gunshot wound.
Like, obviously, Pickett and Colleen are a thing, but there was something there with Ben and Colleen when he sent Colleen off.
I need you to clamp under the liver so I can get a look back there.
I'm not a surgeon.
I know. But I need you to do this. It's behind the liver, that's why you missed it. I need lap pads, as many as you've got. All right, another one. A crash cart, now. Juliet, I need paddles.
It's broken.
Jack needs someone to fix. Always does. This doesn't look promising, though.
Time of death.
No clocks.
She's gone.
He's gonna just beat up some Sawyer.
Hey! Shut up! You love this guy? I said you love him!
Stop!
You love him!
Leave him alone! Yes, I love him! I love him! Please.
There's no way his heart rate would stay under 140 during that. His adrenaline would have spiked involuntarily. That was just to get Kate to admit it. That's the writers getting Kate to admit it.
I need to talk to you.
You were right. I loved her. And I thought I really thought she...
10 mil's a lot of greenbacks, killer. Tends to change things. Because once you care, that's when they can come at you.
I need you to move it. The money. Lila's hired a PI. She's gonna find it.
I'll be a walking target.
If you don't help me, the warden will get it all. He'll win. Please.
Of course he's working with the warden, Sawyer is.
Why did he do that?
Hell if I know. What are you doing?
What does it look like?
I told you the time ain't right.
You're the one that said
That was
we had
awfully
to go.
easy.
Well, that was...
Like, awfully easy.
But I know you're scared enough to lie about
They
it.
also
And that
cheated
scares
it.
me
Like,
more than anything
that
that they
one
have done
gap
before.
on the edge at the top is definitely wider than the others. They're being observed.
What are you doing?
Get you out of here.
Don't.
I'm not leaving you.
You gotta leave me.
What? What did they do to you?
You go. It's every man for himself.
Why didn't you fight back?
Don't tell her, or she gets one too.
You really love me. Go.
I only said that so he'd stop hitting you.
What the hell are you doing?
Damn it, Frecklestone. Every man for himself.
Live together, die alone.
Yeah, of course they were watching all of that. Of course.
You know Danny wants to kill him.
Danny can wait.
Should I bring Shepard back?
I want him to sit with her for a while longer.
I'm sorry. They had to put handcuffs on you. I'm not used to death.
What was her name?
Cole was short for Colleen. I should have come to get you sooner.
It wouldn't have mattered. She was dead before you put her on the table.
Are you just saying that to make me feel better?
No, he's got terrible bedside manner.
I don't care about making you feel better. Whose x-rays are those? They belong to a man about 40 years old. And whoever he has a very large tumor on his L4 vertebrae. And I just happen to be a spinal surgeon. Who am I here to save?
That's why they want Jack. Is it Ben? Ben's about 40, right? What is Desmond up to? Is it like a lightning rod?
Art? Just an experiment.
It's a lightning rod, I think. The wire is a ground.
You might want to wait a minute.
And kaboom. What does Desmond want with Aaron?
Good morning. Let's go for a walk.
Can we just get this over with?
Yeah, let's. You remember Agent Friedman from the Treasury Department?
So he did this to negotiate his way out.
10 millions and a red Bronco parked in a store-quick facility in Sawgrass. Unit 23C.
The last 6 years of your sentence?
Commuted.
Have been commuted.
As soon as the truck is recovered and the funds confirmed, your commission will be processed.
We'll set up a new account. Just make it in Albuquerque.
Okay?
For the daughter.
Put it in the name of Clementine Phillips.
This is very reminiscent of Mike in Breaking Bad, leaving money for his granddaughter.
You're a free man.
Every man for himself.
Not much further, James. Just at the top of the next rise.
But his heart rate's okay now.
That little place you always wanted, George?
Sorry?
What, don't you read? From Of Mice and Men. You'd like it. Puppies get killed.
Stop, dude.
Bring me up here to kill me?
Your heart's not gonna blow up, James. The only thing we put inside you was doubt. We gave him a sedative, not a pacemaker.
How do I know that's the same bunny?
Right?
You don't.
Yeah. And you don't know that you don't have a bomb in your heart.
The rabbit wasn't the thing I wanted to show you.
What do we see now? They're on another island?
Right now, you're standing on a small island roughly twice the size of Alcatraz. That's your island. The one you've come to know and love. With nowhere to run. We did all this because the only way to gain a con man's respect is to con him. And you're pretty good, Sawyer. We're a lot better.
Yeah.
You work so hard to make her think you don't care. That you don't need her. But a guy goes nuts if he ain't got nobody. It don't make no difference who the guy is.
Is he quoting Of Mice and Men right now?
I tell you, a guy gets too lonely and he gets sick.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's from Of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Don't you read? Let's get you back to your cage.
So Hydra's on a separate island, and it's not attached to our little community that we saw at the start of episode 1. I mean, the Sawyer flashbacks are always great because I love a good con man story. I love a good heist story. This one was predictable. It was clear, you know, Sawyer serving time, getting the money isn't something that's feasible for him, so he had to be working with somebody else, and it made sense that the warden was the somebody else. And it also makes sense that he wasn't doing it specifically for the money. He was doing it to get out. The fact that he leaves the money for his daughter that he refuses to acknowledge is very interesting. There's a lot of Breaking Bad parallels popping up on this show. Aside from Breaking Bad taking place in Albuquerque, this feels very much like Mike Ehrmantraut leaving money for his granddaughter Haley without him wanting her to know. That's what sort of motivates him for all of Breaking Bad and much of Better Call Saul to double down on it. I think we've certainly proven at this point that Ben is going to be a very formidable foe, and I'm not sure how we're going to get our 3 survivors out from Hydra. Jack's super observant. He saw the spinal x-rays. Who's got spinal cancer? You know, is it Benjamin? Or could it be one of the others? I mean, there's a lot of 40-ish men on the island. There's Pickett. There's I'm blanking on his name now. So many new faces and names that I'm trying to absorb. Mr. Smiley. Zeke. Tom is his real name, because there's so many Toms on this show. When I ran through the number of Toms on this show during my season 2 recap, I forgot to mention Claire's ex-boyfriend / father of Aaron. Like, there's Toms everywhere. Anyway, there we go. I think we've spent the last number of episodes primarily just sort of breaking down our 3 heroes and establishing how challenging an opponent they have in the others in general and Benjamin in particular. Where we go from here, I'm really not sure. I've asked in the past, why these 3? Why did the others want these 3 in particular? And we're beginning to see the why for Jack. You know, aside from the fact that he's the leader of our survivors, and pulling him away from them weakens the survivors as a whole, he's also the spinal surgeon, and if somebody needs spinal surgery amongst the others, then Jack is the person for the job. But why Kate and Sawyer exactly? I get that Kate could be the bargaining chip for Sawyer. You know, as we demonstrated in this episode, you keep Sawyer in line by threatening Kate. But why do you need Sawyer exactly? You know, Sawyer's strength, aside from his general physical capability, is he's a con man. Benjamin just said they're much better con men than Sawyer. So why do you need Sawyer exactly? I'm not yet sure. Presumably that'll be revealed to us. But it is a bit of a mystery at this moment. Why did the others need Sawyer? Why did they need him as opposed to a Locke or a Hurley or an Echo? You know, Hurley was on the list, but he was just on the list to be the messenger. You know, he was sent back to tell everyone that Jack and Kate and Sawyer were taken. So there's a bit of a mystery there. There's a bit of mystery everywhere on this show. In a weird way, this was a bit of a self-contained episode. The point of this story was primarily to prove a point, not to drive the story forward. Yeah, you know, there's a little bit of progress. You know, we learn perhaps why Jack is being held. But this was primarily about beating Sawyer down, you know, making him doubt himself and leveraging him to cooperate. I do find it interesting that we haven't really talked any further about Jack's cooperation leading to his return home. You know, what's that all about? We were sort of teased that at the end of episode 2, and it hasn't been mentioned since. And granted, not a whole lot of time has passed since then, because Sun and Jin, Sun shot Colleen. Colleen got rushed in here, so this is presumably the next day, which means episode 3 was maybe even prior to or concurrent with episode 1 and early episode 2. We're jumping around in the time frame a little bit here, because our survivors are spread out in different places. You know, we haven't seen Saeed and Sun and Jin for a couple of episodes now. You know, obviously Jack, Kate, and Sawyer are on another island, we now learn, where Hydra is. And the rest of our survivors are on the south side of the island. So we can play with the time frame a little bit, which means we're just going to have to track things a little bit more. Thankfully, I've got you Losties to inform me exactly what day this is all taking place on. We are at about day 70 right now. This entire show has only taken place over 10 weeks so far, and so much has happened in that 10 weeks, hasn't it? I can't wait to see what happens next. So until next time, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.